friends, it's Katie Steinberg here with you today and bringing you this week's message from Missing Peace. A little bit late in the week than normal, but here we are nonetheless. I want to let you know that this week coming up at Missing Peace is a journey into the internal boardroom. We have this amazing woman named Betsy who's coming over from Orlando. She has worked with Disney and been sort of a corporate strategist and is going to talk to us about how a boardroom works in real life and then sort of how the boardroom inside our minds functions. And then we will connect that to our spiritual selves and what it means to be a good human. So I hope you'll come for that. And then the following week is Sunday Soul Brunch time. So we have Gray playing, and Vitamin T Taco Truck is going to do a Mexican brunch for us. And that's on September 23rd, and you can get tickets online. But this past week at Missing Peace, we were at the Labyrinth. If you've never been and you're in Ormond, I encourage you to check out the Labyrinth at Central Park. But wherever you may be, there's often a labyrinth somewhere nearby. So have a look, and I offer up this meditation for your consideration. Here's an underused word for you: discernment. Sure, it gets thrown around a lot in preacher circles. It's held in high regard as a lofty spiritual ideal. One must spend time in discernment to know one's calling. In its overuse in those settings, it often just becomes a synonym for deciding, though that's not really how it's meant to be used, what it's supposed to mean. See, deciding is really just you and the issue at hand. You weigh the pros and cons, attempt to think through the eventualities and consequences, and then try to make a good decision, or perhaps just one that does the least harm. But the truth is, even that surface skimming version is rarely fully engaged. More often, it's just the path of least resistance, or the squeaky wheel. Pick your cliche, they're cliches for a reason. But if you're like me, it's easy to just flit through life, putting out fires, one foot in front of the other, without taking any real time to measure if what I'm doing with my one precious life lines up with who I want to be. Now that's sounding more like discernment. So instead of being this weighing out of pros and cons, it's this deeper level. And by the way, what are we weighing against? I mean, weight implies a scale, and by what scale or standards are we making decisions? And is it really just me and societal standards making the choices that form my life and my legacy? Enter the deep wisdom, that non-coercive whispering, God, if you like, that deep sense of right and wrong, that sense of identity that feels deeper than what we show people or who we've been told we are or what we think we are supposed to be. Deepest essence, divine spark, imago Dei. When we engage that in the conversation, then we are getting to real discernment. But again, and I'm making a great many assumptions here, if you're like me, maybe you wonder why it's a whisper. Why not just shout at me? Beat me over the head with this deep wisdom. I'm pretty thick-skulled sometimes, and your whole gentle spirit calling stuff doesn't always get in. There is a reason, I think. At least some wisdom on the topic, if not exactly a direct answer. It's because love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in truth. It always protects. It always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. See, this is how love works. This is how the song that sung the world into existence works. This is how the great energy and source of the whole thing, so keenly hidden inside of you and me and everything, works. So you see, it could never hit us over the head or shout, not love. It's just not how it communicates. Instead, we have to love it back. We have to listen closely and look deeply and hope and persevere and all those things love is. We have to become like love. And while I wish that could happen by taking a pill or something, instead, it's in the journey. Like all of the best things of this life, it's in the journey that we are molded into the image of love, of God. And so on Sunday, we journeyed. It didn't take long, and whether it changed someone was up to them. Depends on if you let it, because it certainly doesn't force itself on you. But as people wandered the folds of the labyrinth, this grand journey in miniature, there's an invitation to listen to love, to discern deeply, to connect with the source of it all. I hope that you will find some time to find a labyrinth in your area. I have found it a deeply meaningful opportunity for discernment and always an unexpected metaphor sort of hidden in that winding journey. So I hope you will take some time to do some of that discernment and engage with your source and to be who you want to be, because you really can be. I want to remind you that this week we're doing a journey into the internal boardroom with our dear friend Betsy coming over from Orlando. And I think you'll find that a deeply meaningful experience, as well as engaging yourself intellectually. And then in 2 weeks, on September 23rd, it's Sunday Soul Brunch time. So we're supporting the Giving Back Fund that helps our veterans get back on their feet. And we'll have a great brunch with Vitamin T, a taco truck, a Mexican brunch, and Gray will be playing. So get your tickets online, and we look forward to seeing you next time, either in the flesh or here virtually. Grace and peace, friends.